Hello, I'm Charlize and welcome to another episode of Book Talk. Today I'm going to be talking about Sapphire Blue by Kirsten Gear. This is the second book in the Ruby Red trilogy by Kirsten Gear. The first book is here, that is Ruby Red, and the third book is Emerald Green, which I have not yet read, but today we're discussing the second book. So obviously if you have not yet read the first book, I would suggest not watching this video unless you want to be spoiled, which you do not want to be spoiled for this series because there is a lot of mystery involved and a lot of suspense, and I have a review for the first book, Ruby Red, and you can click on the cover of this book if you want to go look at that review. I have a spoiler-free section in that review that you can watch if you want to learn more about this series. Bye for now if you have not yet read Sapphire Blue. Don't want to spoil you, so you should leave now and you should go watch that review if you want to, and come back and watch this video if you have read this book, and I'll see you then. So Sapphire Blue, what did you guys think about this one? Did you like it better than Ruby Red? Did you like it the same? Did you like it less? I liked it a teensy-wincy bit more. They were about the same for me. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I gave Ruby Red a 4 out of 5 stars. They're about the same. This one is a little bit better. I don't know why. I don't really know why. They're probably about equal, but there's so many things that need to be resolved in this thing, and I am going to read this and I'm nervous to read this because so many things have been left unexplained and like loose ends and things that need to be tied up, and this book's not huge. And how many pages is this even? Let me see. It's about 400 pages. Yeah, 450-ish pages, and that makes me a bit nervous. But yes, I'm just going to talk about this book now. We basically start off right where we left off in Ruby Red, like pretty much right where we left off. We have that prologue with Lucy and Paul, of course, which I kind of get confused with prologue and epilogue, which I think you're kind of meant to, are you meant to be able to understand that? Because like in Ruby Red you don't understand it, but I thought maybe I'd understand it more in this, and I don't understand it. The whole Paul and Lucy situation is confusing me. Like, where are they? What time are they in? Like, I know they met up with Gideon and Gwen in the first book, and in this book I'm just so confused about them. What time are they in? I know they have one of the chromographs, and I don't know that I'm a bit hazy on the whole Lucy Paul thing. Someone refresh my brain, but don't spoil the third book for me, please. But yeah, we left off right where we pick up right where we left off in Ruby Red, which was in the church when they came back in time and they were caught kissing in the church. And Gideon is just in this book, Gideon, guys, Gideon, what is going on with Gideon? I'm just going to talk about the characters first. What do you guys think about Exermius? I'm just going to call him X, maybe, because his name starts with an X. Who knows how to say that name? I don't know how to say it. I'm going to put this here. Yeah, okay. I freaking love that gargoyle. He's amazing. Like, oh, he's so funny, and he's like, buy me a dog. Can you buy me a dog? And you're like, why do you want a dog? Why? He's just so good, and like he gets into the fights with that other ghost, I forget his name, but the one that's in school, and Jack, I think his name is the other ghost, and that I laugh so much, and it's because isn't it because the gargoyle knows he's dead whereas Jack still thinks he's alive, or maybe it was the other way around, I don't know, but yeah, I think it's Xermius still thinks he's alive or something. And I really love that gargoyle. He was a really good character. I really liked him. Charlotte was so freaking annoying, which I think she was meant to be, like that was part of the story, and you're meant to kind of hate Charlotte, but at the same time you're like, I kind of feel bad for you because, you know, you've been training your whole life and then she does something and you're like, never mind, I hate you. Gwen, what do you guys think about Gwen? This insta-love is kind of starting to get on my nerves. I kind of didn't notice it in the first book, but then I heard Christine say in her review that over these 2 books, between these 2 books, it's been a week. 2 books, it's been 1 week. And she's like madly in love with him, crying over him, and I just don't understand. Like, it seems like it's been longer because of how freaking in love with him she is. It really annoys me now, but like they haven't even had that much time alone together. That it's like, because there's so much action in the book, they're always moving, doing stuff, and Gideon is such an asshole anyway, so I don't understand. Gideon confuses me in this book because I swear, in the first book, he was reading minds. And I'm with Christine on this one. Christine said she still thinks he can read minds, and I'm with her. He can read minds, I swear to you. And it's weird because that time in the book where he was like accusing her of coming around the corner and hitting him against the head with something, like if he can read minds then he would know that she didn't do it, but I don't know what's happening with this. Come on, last book, please explain. Something that I really like about this book is the prologue and the epilogue thing. Even though I do get confused, it's like we're slowly finding out things about Paul and Lucy, not like all at once, so it's like mysterious and suspense and all that, and like foreshadowing, and I like it. I just like it. What do you guys think about that vision that Gwen's auntie, grandma, I don't know who she is, got of the lion, which is meant to be Gideon because that's what it is in the prophecies. Gideon's like the lion, Gwen is the ruby, and is Gwen the ruby? I don't know. No, she's the raven? I don't know, but the one where the lion pushes the ruby off a cliff, or I swear it was like a clock tower. Am I imagining this? Did the lion push the ruby off a clock tower? Is that what happened? And what do you think that means? Do you think that means it's like he's going to break her heart? Or do you think it means he's going to kill her? Because I need to know what happens with that. That was exciting. The funniest part of this book, right, is Violet Purple Plum. Come on, like, you're under pressure. Someone's like, what's your name? Violet Purple Plum. Oh, all the purples, oh my gosh. She might have, what if she had said like, my name is Red, Crimson, Orange? That's not sus. Like, as if you don't say like Emily Smith or something. That's the first thing that would come into my head. Not friggin' Violet Purple Plum. As if that's not suspicious. They were kind of like, is that really your name? And she's like, yes. And they just believed her. And I was like, that is so suspicious. And then the guy she was meeting didn't remember. I get so confused in these books. I just don't even know anymore, guys. I'm sorry. This review sucks. For me, the things that make these books into a 4 out of 5 stars instead of a 5 out of 5 is the writing style. I know it's translated from German, but I don't know, I can't get used to it, and I don't know, it doesn't flow nicely all the time, but it is pretty good for being translated, don't get me wrong. And the other thing I don't like is the insta-love thing where it's only been a week. I don't know, Gwen's a bit angsty and annoying and stuff, but I didn't really notice it until the second book. I was fine within the first book, which is weird, so I don't know. But that's basically what brought it down to a 4 out of 5 and not a 5 out of 5. I like everything else about it. I like the action and everything. It's just those two things, really. What about the magic of the raven that's talked about in the prophecies? I knew since the very first book that was her seeing ghosts thing, and I was like, why doesn't anyone else see this? Why don't you guys realize that it's her seeing ghosts, that's her little power thing? Or maybe, like, in the second book they finally say something about that, and I think it might be that. I don't know, that might not be all of it though. I feel like that's a part of it though, because there's so many things that need to be tied up in this book. As I've said so many times in this review already, one of the other things is the doppelganger thing that she saw back in the first book. I thought they were going to bring that doppelganger into the second book, but they didn't. Like, what was that? That was like Gwen's doppelganger. Wasn't that in like when she first travelled back in time when she was at school or something? And her doppelganger was with Gideon, and either Gideon or the doppelganger distracted the other person so that they wouldn't see Gwen. The thing that needs to be resolved is that Gideon better have a really good excuse for being such an asshole in both these books. There better be some reason for him being such a weirdo, like something to do with the prophecies. I'm waiting for that to happen. If that doesn't happen, I'm gonna be upset. What about that Green Rider book thing that, it's like treasure that her grandfather has hidden away or something, and it's in like her own house, and Leslie's been finding like the coordinates and everything. I just love Leslie. I still love Leslie, how she's like so like determined to find out things, and she just does anything for Charlotte. And I like this Raphael Leslie thing going on as well. Gideon's brother, was it his brother or his cousin? Something? I don't know. See, characters confuse me in this book. That's another thing that's a bit I feel like there's a bit too many characters for such small books. I don't know. That's probably just me though. What about the ball? Is it called like the soiree ball? I don't know. I don't know names of things. That's just what I heard people say in their reviews. Gideon, why? He like, okay, Gwen gets drunk and that was hilarious. That was hilarious. And then Gideon gets all angry at her for being drunk, when Gideon should have been watching her, not going off and talking to people, and that bloody green dress lady. I don't know what's up with her. I don't know what he's doing with her, but it's stupid, and I'm just, Gideon, you better redeem yourself in that third book. You better. But and then there's when she had to perform, and like it sounded like she actually is a good singer, and I don't know if it's just because everyone else was drunk or something, but that was cool. And then Gideon was like all surprised about it, and I was like, bam. And then there's the cliffhanger. There was a cliffhanger with the first book, and there's a cliffhanger with the second book, which I don't actually remember what the cliffhanger was. I just remember it is cliffhanger, something to do with Gideon making her angry, but Gideon was like, he had a reason for it and he was trying to tell her the reason, and then she storms off because she's so in love with him and everything, and he's hurt her feelings so bad. But yeah, I really want to find out what's up with that in the third book. It better not disappoint. But yes, that's all I have to say for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't leave any spoilers for the third book if you have read it. Tell me if you enjoyed the second book more than the first, or did you enjoy the first one better? What was your favourite out of all the 3 books, but don't leave any spoilers for the third one. And that is all, so I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!